Katz, head of the entomology department at Washington State University, has spent the better part of his career studying these strange creatures. One insect Katz finds particularly interesting has reproductive rituals that are among the most bizarre of the insect world.
The so-called human botfly locates a potential host, and she will land on the side of that host and wait for another fly or a mosquito to come in to feed on that host. As that mosquito approaches, the human botfly flies out and captures it in midair and then tumbles with this, and while they're tumbling, she lays 8, 9, 10 eggs on the abdomen of that mosquito and then releases it.
When the egg-infested mosquito feeds a few days later, the body heat from its victim causes the botfly eggs to hatch. Tiny larvae drop onto the new host and burrow into the skin.
After the human botfly larva penetrates into the skin, it begins to create an ulcer-like sore by feeding on connective tissue of the host. It has mouth hooks. It's like a pair of fangs, sort of, and they scratch away at this tissue, and then the larva, as it's scratching away, it's twisting around, so it is squirming as well while it's taking in this food. Now, when it reaches a size of about an almond, then it is ready to begin to back out. It's going to back out and drop to the ground. This fly attacks a wide range of hosts, and included in that range of hosts are people. So that's why it's been called the human botfly.
But as knowledgeable as Dr. Katz is about the life cycle of the human botfly, he isn't nearly as intimately acquainted as one of his friends and fellow entomologists, Dr. Charles O'Brien.
My research is associated with weevils. So I travel to South America, or I go to China, or I go to India or Australia to try to collect these insects.
In the spring of 1994, Dr. O'Brien spent several weeks in the jungles of South America gathering specimens for his research. Shortly after returning home, he became suspicious of a wound on his arm that was slow to heal.
I woke up in the morning at about 4, and something was hurting in my arm, and I got surprised about that and thought, well, maybe this is a clue that there's something in there. So I decided to clean the wound up a little bit and put my arm under the scope, and then I saw the 2 black spiracles waving in the air as it was breathing. I could feel it as it would turn around inside the hole in the arm.
So how do I get this botfly out, Doc?
The fact that the physician who examined Charlie was not familiar with human botfly is not surprising, because we do not have the human botfly native to North America. And so when he saw this thing, it's a repulsive kind of thing. When you pull this maggot out of somebody's skin, he was surprised by it.
By the time the larva was removed from Charlie's arm, it had grown to nearly an inch long.
Nasty-looking critter, huh?
As repulsive and unsettling as playing host to a botfly larva may be, it can't compare to the tragic long-term